What is going on, Cardano community? Welcome back to the Dapp Central YouTube channel. I'm your host here for Reed, and as a part of today's video, I want to give you guys some brief updates surrounding the general development of the Cardano network. First things first, we're going to dive into the Cardano weekly development report. Second, we're going to jump into MinSwap and a brand new feature that they've just released on their DEX. Third, we're going to talk a little bit about CNFTcon and their early bird special, which is live right now. Fourth, we're going to highlight AADA Finance and a few brand new updates that they've just released for their protocol. And then in closing of today's video, we're going to wrap up by talking about Fluid Tokens, which is going to be a lending and borrowing marketplace being built on Cardano. If it's your first time stopping by here on the channel, my goal is to provide you guys in the community with the latest news, tutorials, and reviews for the top builders in the Cardano ecosystem. I'm also a single stake pool operator operating the official Dapp Central stake pool. And if you want to support me along my goal to support or to educate the Cardano community, then consider delegating with the stake pool ticker DAPP. We are close to the 3 million ADA threshold. And as always, thank you to all of my delegators within the community. Moving straight into the first topic for today's video, which is going to be the weekly development report. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time here because we did review this as a part of last Friday. But right now, we've got 117 projects launched on Cardano's mainnet with over 1,200 builders with more than 7.87 million native tokens in the ecosystem. We've now reached over 70,000 token policies with 5,953 Plutus scripts currently live on the mainnet with a total of 62.2 million total transactions. When it comes to the total number of Plutus V2 scripts, we currently have 797, which is going to be up about 30 to 35, right? In which we had about 760 as a part of the last week's update. Moving over into key highlights, we now have the addition of ledger support for Daedalus version 6.0.3. And then there's also some additional plan work going around surrounding the Hydra layer 2 scaling solution. Moving into the next topic, we're going to be briefly highlighting some of the top traded tokens or assets within the ecosystem. Now, I did get a comment here from one of my subscribers as a part of my latest video, basically highlighting that this chart or this particular infographic does appear to be a little bit behind, right? So keep in mind that this data has to be aggregated almost daily. And so we may not necessarily see every token that you may expect to see here in terms of 24-hour trading volume listed. But that aside, we've got number one, the AGIX or the Singularity Net token with over 2.4 million ADA being traded in the last 24 hours. Coming in at number two, we've got the MinSwap token, which is I think one of the top tokens right now to be keeping an eye on within the community, given all of their developments that we've seen over the last few weeks. That said, they've got over 1.1 million ADA traded over the last 24 hours, briefly followed by the NTX project, the Cornucopias project, which has been doing extremely well as well when it comes to developments and just keeping the community updated as to what they're building, right? And go ahead and check out their Copy Cafe series if you haven't already done so. I believe they will be releasing one actually today on on March 3rd of 2023. That said, at number 5, we've got the World Mobile Token, followed by Society, AADA, Meld, Clay, and the Indigo Protocols token. That is going to do it for our very first section there. Again, just kind of breezing through those since there's not too much to cover there in terms of new items. Moving into the next topic, I want to talk about MinSwap, which I actually just highlighted as a part of my latest Cardano Scoop video, and the fact that they just continue to have parabolic growth and adoption within the Cardano ecosystem. So what we've now got is a brand new feature to actually go ahead and export your trade history as a CSV or a comma delimited file. So it reads here from their official Twitter: you can now export your trade history in CSV format and filter transactions exactly however you would like to do so. They've also got a brief video here, which you guys can see there, which basically highlights the new export to CSV button that will be available, right? And as you guys can see there, you can swap or you can filter, by different actions that you've taken, which include swaps, deposits, withdrawals, and even zap-ins. So hopefully you guys can begin to see again the value that this team is bringing to the ecosystem. They've done an extremely well job, or extremely good job, of listening to the community and its needs, and they just continue to grow, and their numbers continue to show it. We've also seen a pretty large increase in terms of the trading activity for this token, as the price has more than doubled over the course of the last 3 months. Moving right along, I want to highlight CNFTcon. And if you guys are not familiar with CNFTcon, this is going to be a yearly event taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, this is going to be the second CNFTcon event, in which we saw the first of ever CNFTcon event take place last year in 2022, and actually had the pleasure of being able to attend that in person. This was a really good opportunity to finally get to meet a lot of the projects, as well as a lot of the community members face to face. And it also was a great opportunity to actually network and reach out and meet new people. That said, the second annual CNFTcon event will be taking place from September 29th through October 1st of 2023. On top of that, you can actually go ahead and take advantage of their early bird specials by picking up your ticket right now. So it reads here from their tweet: invest in your NFT education and receive a valuable collectible at CNFTcon. Get your early bird tickets now at cnftcon.io. If I jump over to their official website here, you can quickly get your tickets here by clicking on this buy now option. If you're a project looking to reserve some space or have a booth, right, you can actually go ahead and contact them directly in order to do that as well. Thirdly and lastly, you can also become a sponsor for this event and basically get your name plastered around certain parts of the location in which the actual event will be held at if you go ahead and do that. As we can see here, we've got a gold sponsor, which is going to be none other than the Hosky token. And in terms of pricing, last year, there were only 2 different types of tickets. They had a general admission ticket, which was $20. And keep in mind that kids can attend this for free, as long as I believe they're below the age of 12, or at least that's what the stipulation was last year. And then we had a premium ticket, which was only $60 last year. That said, this year, the general admission ticket is now a price of $40. And again, that'll give you access to the event on September 30th all the way through October 1st with a simple wristband. If you go ahead and order the premium package, which is now going to be the early bird special, right? Instead of you paying $160, you'll be able to pay just $120. And this will give you access to a preview night, which will be September 29th from 3 to 7. And last year, they actually had a kickoff party, which will probably be very similar to what we're going to see this year. And then you're also going to get a premium swag bag, premium lanyard, t-shirt, and an exclusive NFT, as well as an enamel pin. And you're going to get some of the Hosky tokens. So they've tried to kind of up the deal here. And then if you also want to go ahead and get the diamond package, you're not only going to get everything that you've got access to before, but you're going to get an exclusive diamond package hoodie, an exclusive diamond package swag bag, lanyard, and t-shirt. Now, you will also get a little bit more Hosky, but again, keep in mind that this is not going to be a valuable token, as it is a meme token right now on Cardano, but you never know what the future holds. That's going to do it there for the updates on CNFTcon. I do want to say that I will be attending the event. So if you guys are looking to meet me in person, or again, just some of your other top projects in person, then I highly recommend that you go ahead and check them out. And again, with a general admission ticket of only $40, this is affordable for the general public. Moving into the next topic that I want to discuss, this is going to be updates surrounding the AADA Finance protocol. As it states here, the AADA Finance platform has updated their health factor. Health factor changes occur from March 9th moving forward, and you can now check estimated changes in your dashboard. The difference between the old and new health factor is how we calculate the loan value by taking the estimated receiving price from a DEX, and it will take liquidity and loan size now into account. Now, I do need to do a little bit more research to understand exactly how the current health factor works, but it does look like they will be updating this moving forward. The next update I want to highlight coming from the AADA Finance protocol is going to be their monthly stats. Now, this is something similar that we just saw with the MinSwap platform. And again, I mentioned this in my prior video. I do think that these are very, very helpful when it comes to keeping the community aware as to how well a particular protocol is doing. So I personally would like to see more of these monthly stats and reviews from all of the builders within Cardano. That said, pivoting back into AADA Finance specifically, their current TVL sits at about 2.8 million ADA right now. And their average loan value, which actually surprised me, is currently sitting at about 2,300 ADA. The average time to receive a loan on this platform is currently sitting at 23 hours. And the most borrowed token right now is going to be the Cardano token. Now, that said, this is going to be a peer-to-peer platform. And so that's why it takes about 23 hours for you to actually receive a loan. They are going to be planning to move to a peer-to-pool platform, which I actually want to highlight as a part of my next update here. So jumping over into the next tweet, it says here, while we still leverage the benefits of decentralization or decentralized P2P lending and borrowing, we will gradually start deploying our pooled lending version of the protocol. Jumping into the official Medium, I just want to briefly highlight two separate sections, but I definitely recommend that you guys go ahead and check out this entire article because it does talk about what exactly peer-to-peer lending is, some of the advantages and disadvantages, as well as what is peer-to-pool lending and what are some of the advantages to that and some of the disadvantages to peer-to-pool. So I'm just going to highlight what is peer-to-peer and what is peer-to-pool. Peer-to-peer lending, also known as P2P lending or simply P2P, is usually a decentralized financial service. Taking inspiration from the traditional barter system, it allows two individuals, a borrower and a lender, to connect directly on the blockchain. Typically, they agree on a particular set of parameters like the loan size, the actual amount of the loan in the loan period, as well as the interest. Consequently, the borrower collateralizes the loan to cover the lender's loan in case of insolvency. So again, this is basically going to be two people coming together to agree on an actual transaction. Now, how does this differ from peer-to-pool? Well, peer-to-pool will actually use a liquidity pool, right, which will then eliminate the need for another person to actually agree with you on those set terms of the loan. Again, there's going to be a pool set aside with liquidity to allow you to quickly come in and out as you need. So it reads here, pooled lending, also known as peer-to-pool, is a form of cryptocurrency lending. Like P2P lending, it enables users to borrow and lend assets without the need of a trusted third party. The most popular pooled lending platforms are Aave, Compound, and MakerDAO. Now keep in mind that those three that are just listed there are all ERC compatible protocols or protocols that reside on the Ethereum network. In terms of peer-to-pool coming to Cardano, obviously we have AADA, but we just got Liquid Finance, and then we also have Meld on the horizon, who's currently testing right now on their closed testnet. Now, jumping back into the article, typically these platforms allow users to supply funds into smart contracts, which are also known as lending pools, in exchange for interest on their investment. In return, borrowers can take loans at rates determined by algorithms based on supply and demand. So you could probably imagine as there's less supply in terms of liquidity in the liquidity pools, there's going to be higher interest rates. And then there's also going to be more of a yield to incentivize lenders to put up their assets. Now, as there's more lending taking place and the pools become saturated, the yield rates will most likely go down. And again, that's just basically how this is going to work. Again, it's all going to be done algorithmically as opposed to P2P or peer-to-peer, where there's a set loan amount and a set interest amount. So that's going to be it there. Again, if you guys want to find out more about the advantages of both of these types of lending, you can go ahead and check out this article here in its entirety. The very last thing I want to highlight as a part of today's Cardano Scoop is going to be fluid tokens. Now, before I jump into there, if you guys are enjoying this video so far, it really would help me if you guys could tap that like button. It does go a long way given that I'm a single content creator and helps to get this content out to other members within the Cardano community. Jumping into the last story for today, this is going to be the fact that Fluid Tokens will be having their official ISPO kicking off on the 26th of March of 2023, and it's going to be lasting a total of 24 epochs. If you don't know what Fluid Tokens is, this is going to be a platform allowing users to take loans against their NFTs and Cardano native assets. Now, jumping into the official article surrounding the FLDT ISPO, which FLDT is going to be their native governance token, I just want to quickly highlight some of the key facts. So it says here, this is going to be a 100% pool run by Fluid Tokens, and their aim is going to be to set up a pool in which if you delegate to that pool, you'll be rewarded with the FLDT token. They've also got a calculation here highlighting exactly how they will be calculating the rewards for the FLDT delegators. And then they've also got a highlight here covering the fact that they will be giving away ISPO tokens to 4 of their ambassador pools. Now, these include the Malu pool, Grana pool, AADA OZ, and the BPP pool. On top of that, they will be decentralizing Cardano by selecting 10 community pools, in which they'll be providing 20% of the tokens generated during the ISPO to be allocated to those 10 shared pools. Now, the reason why they're doing this is to decentralize Cardano, which is actually going to be something very similar to what we saw with the TeddySwap FISO or their Fair Initial Stake Pool offering. That said, I've already gone ahead and actually applied to be a Fluid Token ISPO pool. And if I'm accepted, you guys within the community who are delegating to the Dapp Central Stake pool will automatically begin to receive the FLDT token as that kicks off as well. In closing, this is the official website here for the FLDT token platform. As I mentioned, you can go ahead and lend your assets here. You can also borrow against your NFTs. If you guys want to find out more about this app, you can head over to app.fluidtokens.com. That is going to bring us to a close for today's Cardano Scoop update, in which we've talked about the Cardano Development, MinSwap and their brand new trade history export feature, as well as CNFTcon and their early bird special. And then we wrapped up by talking about AADA Finance and their health factor updates, as well as their gradual migration to peer-to-pool, as well as Fluid Tokens and their upcoming ISPO. If you guys found this video to be helpful, please make sure to tap that like button. If it's your first time dropping by, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions for me about any of the topics that we talked about or about Cardano in general, then make sure to leave a comment down below. That said, I will see you guys in the next video.